AITA for taking up 2 seats on a bus? I ride the bus because I can't afford a car, insurance, gas, etc. I'm 19F and live in the US, for context. A couple days ago I was on a bus that wasn't that busy. Not empty, but there were multiple unused seats and no one had to stand. I had just gone shopping and had heavy bags that were hard to carry and hardly fit in front of my legs. So I sat in one seat and placed my bags on the seat next to me, essentially taking up 2 seats on my own. Since it wasn't crowded when I got on, I didn't see an issue, and like I said, the bags were super heavy and hurt to carry, so I wanted to set them down. The bus ride was kind of long, and as it went on, more and more people got on the bus. It eventually got pretty crowded to the point where some people had to stand up. I didn't ever move my bag or offer the seat to someone. In my experience, most people don't want to sit next to strangers anyway, and a lot of the time people will end up standing instead of sitting in an empty seat next to someone they don't know. Also, no one said anything to me. At the last stop, ended at the bus station where pretty much everyone was getting off, someone passive-aggressively told me, "You could have moved your bag and not been inconsiderate and rude. Everyone wants to sit, not just you." Or something along those lines. I didn't really respond because I didn't know what to say. The person who said that never asked me to move my stuff, and if they did I probably would have. So I don't understand how I was being rude. They could have asked during the ride instead of insulting me after it was already done. Buses are also generally first come first serve, so I think my behavior was normal. AITA? AITA for not cooking a Western enough meal when having guests over? My boyfriend, 24M, and I, 21F, have recently hosted a dinner at his place with some of his co-workers and their partners. He recently got a promotion at work and his friends over there were asking for a treat. I'm South Asian, Bangladeshi, and sometimes when I have leftovers from some of the traditional dishes I cook, I pack it for his lunch. Apparently many of his coworkers liked the smell and look of his food, and some even tried it and liked it. So when I asked him if we should just invite them at his place where I would cook some traditional dinner, he got excited and said yes. He gave me a heads up that 2 of them are vegetarian. For dinner, I cooked white rice, tomato chutney, mashed potatoes, spinach, onion fritters, fried eggplants, Chinese vegetables, spicy egg curry, chicken curry, lentils with green mango. For dessert, I made gajar halwa, carrot-based pudding. I also served veg strip snack and beverages before dinner as an evening snack. All of them seemed to love my cooking and kept complimenting me throughout the night. They also asked me many questions about the ingredients and what is the best way to eat each of them, and I was happy to answer those. After they all left, my boyfriend started ranting. What was that all about? I got very confused, and apparently when he assumed I was going to cook traditional meals, he thought it would be more like what they serve at the weddings: biryani, chicken roast, spicy beef curry, kebab, fried fish, and other type of veggie dishes. He thought what we served was not up to the standards, especially when guests are over. I argued that most of my dishes were vegetarian friendly, and these are comfort food which are also quite tasty since they were all seasoned properly and made from scratch. He keeps saying that he should have just taken them to a restaurant and that I'm lucky none of them are Indian or something. Otherwise they'd be able to tell that we just fed them grass. I was very hurt by that comment since I put a very high effort into all of that cooking when I don't even live there. I want some fresh outside perspective. Was AITA for walking out of the restaurant during my wife's birthday dinner with her family. I'm feeling a bit guilty now. For context, my wife's birthday was a few days ago. I took her out last weekend somewhere nice for just me and her to have lunch, and I took her out and did a whole walk, hiking day, which is her favorite thing to do. This weekend her parents wanted to take her out to dinner, wherever she wanted to go. She asked my opinion on it, and I simply answered, literally anywhere except Shogun's is fine. She knows I don't like the restaurant, I just don't like the flavors. Her dad loves the place, so we've been there often. Every single time I have not liked it, so I came to the conclusion I just would stop going there. Spending $30 on a plate of food I won't eat seems ridiculous. Cue today's events. We went out with her parents and our kids, had a nice day together. Time comes to decide where we're going for dinner. Wife and family says Shogun's. I think, okay, no big deal, I'll just get a kid's meal or something, chicken strips and fries. I remind my wife on the way to the restaurant that I don't plan on eating anything off the menu, but I would be Marathan happy to sit with everyone, enjoy the company, and I will order the chicken strips. She's happy, I'm happy, all good. Until we get to the restaurant, that is. Turns out the kids' meals are only for 10 and under. Obviously I'm way over that age limit, so I thought, no big deal, I'll just relax and enjoy the company, then he'll grab some food when we leave. Oh no. According to Shogun's policy, you have to pay per person whether or not that person is eating. They wanted me to pay $10 to watch other people eat, when the kids' meal would have only cost $7. So I asked again if I could just get the kids' meal then. They refused. My wife was getting upset over the $10 charge for me to just sit there. So I told my wife I'm not paying $10 to watch everyone else eat dinner. UCK that. So now I'm sitting outside in the car. My wife is mad at me, and my wife's parents I'm sure are not thrilled as well. I guess I'm just feeling guilty. So the real question here is, AITA? Should I have paid the $10 to sit at the table and watch everyone eat food that I can't even stand the smell of? Edit. Really didn't expect this post to blow up like this. Thank you all for reading and giving feedback. I have talked with my wife. We both agreed that we were both in the wrong and both of our choices led to this situation happening, more so than her. She did apologize for picking the one restaurant I requested for her to not pick, though she also says her parents more or less forced her into the decision. Makes me feel even worse for my reaction. Although everyone seems to have some really mixed feelings on this, I have come to conclusion that I am the AmItheAsshole here. The situation put me on the spot, and my reaction was a poor one. Thank you all for your input. Also to those insinuating that my wife and I are bad for each other, grow up. It was a petty argument that stemmed from both sides. We love each other very much and certainly are not going to get a divorce over something that can be resolved with a simple conversation. Also, no, she did not just pick the location to be petty, or just to start a fight like some you are suggesting. I get it. It's easy to jump to conclusions way too quickly sometimes, but my wife is not a petty person in the least bit. In fact, she is one of the most kind-hearted. Go out of her way to do stuff for others people that I know, hence why I fell in love with her in the first place. AITA for getting my fiancé a ring on a chain? I, 29M, wanted to propose to my GF, 28F. She's a nurse, so she can't wear rings at work. I wanted to give her something that she could keep with her all the time. I work as a graphic designer, so I designed a ring and a chain that I thought she would really like. The ring is in a style she's worn before and likes, with a diamond, as well as opals, which are her favorite. The chain is fairly small and sturdy, and made of a stainless steel core with alternating gold and silver links over top, so it's stronger. The clasp for the chain is invisible, and the ring can be clipped on and off of the ring without having to take the chain off. I made it so that she could turn it and hide the clip so she could wear the chain separately from the ring as well. I thought it was really cool, and I proposed on Sunday at the park after Mother's Day. There was no one else around to see it. She was initially excited when she saw it and immediately said yes. However, when she pulled it out and saw the chain attached, she accused me of trying to prank her and wouldn't hear a word in edgewise. She was yelling at me and crying, and I felt horrible. I tried to explain, and she shut me down and went back to her mother's. Now she won't talk to me and he don't know what to do. AITA? AITA for telling my brain-damaged uncle that I don't give a hit what other people put up with and that in my hose he can be polite or leave. My uncle 53 is a complete SS-hole. He is vulgar and rude. He positively delights in being as offensive as possible. My grandmother says it's from a brain injury when he was young. I have never seen proof of this. My dad 50 has put up with this his whole life. When I asked him about it, he just says that is the way his brother is and always has been. My mom basically banned him from our house when I was growing up, so I only saw him at family events. At weddings where he would say the groom looked like AF, or that the bride looked pregnant. Thanksgiving where he would tell offensive jokes at the table. Or a birthday party where he said the food tasted like hit. I am 27, recently bought a house with my girlfriend. 23. It is small and needs work, but we can afford it with a lot of help from our families in the bank. We had a housewarming this weekend and had a barbecue. It was the first time we could host a big group. Aussie only had a bachelor apartment and my girlfriend lived with her dad. My dad invited my uncle, I did not. My uncle shows up and starts being himself. He starts calling my home a hit hole and asks my girlfriend why she is with a loser like me. I ask him to come out in the front yard to talk for a second and I read him the riot act. I do not give a hit that other people have coddled him his whole life. If he cannot be civil, then he is welcome to GTFO. I was not quiet. I'm pretty sure everyone in my backyard could hear me telling him to behave like he a ucking civilized adult. He left, but spent the rest of the day texting everyone there, including his mom, my grandmother, and saying that it's not his fault that I overreacted to his behavior. It put a damper on the party. His family are kind of on his side. But my mom's family and my friends are backing me. AITA?